Hi, sir. Attorney, how are you? And
Good
how's
morning.
PRD is doing well?
He's in good spirits.
Thank you. And does PRD have any message for the Filipino people now that May 12 election are fast approaching?
He asked for calm and restraint. He knows that there are elections in the offing. He knows that the people are very interested in his welfare.
Mm-hmm.
And he also knows that there is a tendency, perhaps, for people to get excited and not to respect the judicial process. He insists that the judicial process be respected, that there be no interference in that at all.
Thank you, Attorney. And Attorney, how do you respond to the ICC judge's rejection of your proposal? Do you believe it undermines the rights of the accused in any way?
Well, this whole thing about the judges rejecting my proposal, that never happened. All that happened was that there were two activist victims representatives by the names of Joel Butian and Christina Conti, who made all sorts of assertions in the press that I had asked to restrict victims' participation in the process by limiting the ID documents that could be used. That never happened. All I was doing was I was relying on what the Philippines social security system requires for ID to be verified in the Philippines. What they don't tell you is that they were not accepted at this present moment in time to be representatives of the victims, rather the OPCV, which is the unit which is dedicated to representing victims at the ICC. So this is not a question of the judges rejecting something that the defense asked for. This is a response that the defense made to the VPRS, which is the internal court unit which is responsible for assessing victims' applications. That's all we did. We made observations. We didn't make a request which was rejected. That's a big lie.
Yeah. So do you think the ICC sets dangerous precedent by relaxing documentary requirements, particularly in highly politicized cases like this?
Once again, this whole issue of it being a dangerous precedent is not something that we created. It's something that's in the minds of Joel Butian and others.
Thank you, Attorney. And lastly, Attorney, what is your message to the Filipino people closely watching the process unfold?
Respect the judicial process, respect the judges, and respect former President Duterte's right to a fair trial.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Attorney, can I ask another one? Sir, may we ask if you have already applied for PRD's interim release?
Once again, I'm not going to comment on the chronology of that request. There will be a request for interim release in due course, but as I said many times before, certain conditions have to be ripe for that interim release to take place. And it's the judges who ultimately decided.
Sir, do you think that our former president will be brought back to the Philippines before the confirmation of charges on September 23rd?
I certainly hope so. In fact, I can't understand why he's here. He's a Filipino citizen.
Yeah.
There's a Filipino president in that country who threw a Filipino citizen over here to be tried. Why isn't he in the Philippines? Why isn't he being tried in the Philippines? Why is there not a Filipino judge who is trying him?
Yeah, exactly, sir. Because that's the sentiment of a lot, if not most, of the Filipinos, that he is illegally detained here and that our judicial system is fully functioning well. So we don't understand why the ICC actually took cognizance of what's happening right now.
Yes, I fully sympathize with that sentiment entirely. Thank you.
Sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great day.
We're still hoping, sir, that the President Rodrigo Duterte
Yung mic doon.
The mic?
Yeah.
Sorry, sir.
Yeah.
Can I get?
Oh, you want your thing back?
Sorry, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank
so
you,
much.
attorney.
Bye.
Thank you so
I'm ready for
much.
you, attorney.
Yes, sir.
Nanglibot ako, balhibog gang. Gang, nanglibot ako, balhibog.
Sila yung mga another team.
Yes, mga kapartners, yun po ang update ngayon na tungkol po sa mga legal matters. Nakausap natin si Attorney Kaufman sapagkat bumisita siya ngayong oras na ito sa ating mahal na Pangulong Rodrigo Roa Duterte. So mula dito sa The Hague, Netherlands, ito si Anton Cero, inyong Global Citizen Correspondent, SMNI News.
Bakakon, hindi sila kontino. Mga bakakon sila tanan. Ay, naglive pa ka?
Nakalive pa.
Oh,
Any update,
Yes,
sir?
Any update, sir?
alam nyo, masasabi ko, mga kababayan, huwag po tayo agad maniwala sa kung ano man yung mga binabalita na mga few individuals about what's happening right now here in The Hague. Because kaming mga nandito mismo sa The Hague, kami po ang nakakaalam, first-hand knowledge, every time mag-interview kami kung ano ang nangyayari. Meron ng mga naratibo na rejection about whatsoever, blah, blah, blah. Sinabi na mismo ng lead counsel na there was never a request done. It was a narrative that was actually put into, I don't know how they did that, but they fed it to the media and the media actually pick it up. And now it's in the mainstream media or whatnot, whatever outlet it is, na pinapalabas na ni-reject ng ICC. There was no such a rejection that has been done. It is a big fat lie. Let us wake up, Filipino people. Let's use this opportunity to literally form an informed decision in the upcoming election. Gumising na po tayo. Huwag na po tayong matulog. Dito po kami ngayon sa harap mismo ng ICC Detention Facility. Kung nakikinig kayo sa live na ito, sana bigyan nyo ito ng pansin. At isipin nyo na napakadali talagang gumawa ng naratibo even though the narrative is not actually representative of what's real. Wake up. Magkape na tayo.
Thank you, sir.
Nakalive pala.
So,
Sorry.
Thank you, sir.
Magkapira tayo, sir, o magkape na
Sir,
tayo?
may anong comment mo dun, sir?
Ah?
May opinion ka ba sa mga sinasabi ni Kaufman ngayon?
Wala sa... Pero parang wala pa sa sir, ano, no? Na kung kailan lalabas.
Yun.
Parang wala sang answer, no?
Hindi niya sagutin yung
Hindi
mga
pa-
legal
yung
matters.
mga legal
Ang,
matters.
kung kailan...
Ang sa totoo talaga, sir, totoo talaga yung sinasabi ni Kampman, sir. Totoo talaga kasi talagang gumagana naman yung judicial process natin sa Pilipinas.
Philippines.
So, bakit pa dito dinala si Tatay Diggs, di ba? So, ibig sabihin, wala silang, ang gobyerno natin, wala talagang paninindigan o malakas na paninindigan na dulitisin si Tatay Diggs. So, kumbaga, politika.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Ay, ma'am. I-end sa. I-end. So mamaya babalik tayo with Ma'am Hanilet.
Mga kapartner, update namin kayo mamaya. Bibisita si Ma'am Hanilet ngayong araw nito. So, update namin kayo mamaya sa mga kaganapan dito sa tapat ng ICC Detention Facility dito sa Duterte Park. Kaya